Howdy.
Hello, everybody.
And
Welcome
back.
back. It's time. It's time to put this plan to action. Let's do it. Let's make some money.
Yep.
So, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make everyone fear and loathe us? I mean, they probably loathe us already. I guess all we really want is for them to notice us and then to be dead. What do we need to do? What's the plan?
I think we have two things we're accomplishing. One is the ritual to, well, Strash can talk about it. And the other one was getting them super secrety oils.
Yes. Both of those things will happen very quickly, and then we will delve into one of them a little more later on, but we'll get a taste of it in the flashback anyway. So firstly, you're extending downtime by an action, spending a coin to secure these alchemicals. They're run-of-the-mill, off-the-shelf varieties, so you can basically just go get them. But you can still roll your tier to see what the quality is.
I suggest Adam rolls because he's good at role-playing games.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna put all the pressure on me, huh? All
No
right.
pressure.
You are tier 1 right now because of the war situation. So you have a
But we
die.
do know an alchemist, like Quellen, so you can get an extra die.
You get a bonus die for Quellen. A
So
very
I have-
useful friend. Your most useful friend, maybe Anya.
Anya and Quellen.
Well, we spent a lot of time setting those up, so as a matter of fact, we bought Quellen, so.
That's
Yeah.
true. You did.
Word. Okay. So how many dice am I rolling here?
It does.
Okay. All right. 2 dice. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Yes.
This is why Adam.
Cancer style.
Yeah.
Still
Always
good.
good.
Still
Always
good.
good for a 6. Adam 6 or Kobold.
Hard sticks and
Yeah. So cool. Go us. What does that mean?
That means that you get
some fine.
Fine items.
they're fine
Get
quality, so
Fine quality.
they will cover more area and they will last longer than normal. So your initial reverse flashbangs when you arrive will be much more effective than they otherwise would have been.
Wicked.
Yeah. So it'll be, in the realm of minutes instead of like a few moments of silence or something. It'll be like 5 minutes, let's say,
Right.
or roughly. These things aren't that precise, but several minutes worth of. You wanted silence, and you wanted what was the other one, Strash?
There's a darkness. I don't remember the name of it, but it's there.
The shadowy essence, shadow essence, maybe I think.
I mean, I don't think we want it to be pitch black because one of the see dudes murder.
Yeah, but there are times where you want to just darken a room so we can run by and open a door, that kind of stuff. Having it on hand is not a bad idea, particularly when we have to run at the end, if we do.
Cool.
I'm thinking about just our goal was to grab this place, so I don't know that there's going to be running, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're running, then we've fucked it up.
Well, I mean,
Or the cops showed up, in which case, yes.
exactly. So there's
Shadow-
a reason to run
shadow
and come back
essence.
later.
Man, yeah.
All right. So I think that during the setup scene, I will spend a coin to initiate the action, but maybe we can get to it when it starts rolling. But in the setup scene, I think, like as you folks are strapping on weapons, and there's that like 15-minute montage, and you've got it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy moment where everyone's putting on coats and everything. The scenes of Oscar are actually doing a ritual, so that's my prep.
Yeah.
You nerd. We're all being cool with our guns and stuff, and you're doing magic homework. Get out of
I
here,
know.
Harry Potter. No, it's fine.
So
You know what?
Strash-
Even teleporting us through your weird squid dimension, still not going to impress us. And
I've noticed you're like, listen, my guns are wet. You fucked
yeah,
up.
we forgot about
Figure
it
it out.
already. So
Cantor gets dragged through the squid dimension, and he says, "Dude, my guns are wet."
yeah, you've
This is-
dampened my pistols, sirrah.
Been spending too much time at Dungeons and Sons, man. Sir's pistols.
Exactly.
It's a good thing your fine coat is hanging up at home. Otherwise, it would have gotten ruined by the salt water.
There would have been a whole other reaction if that were the case. Because I know I can't just go get another one. I would have probably flipped out.
So maybe
So,
you
yeah.
leave your fine coat at home and you bring your armored coat or some like serious fucking leather thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
So yeah, so just for people at home, Strash is doing a flashback to downtime. This is Advanced Blades in the Dark. To a project that he's been working on the side that we haven't seen on screen, and so that costs just like a normal extra downtime acting. It costs coin or rep or whatever. So Strash is paying for that. We're saying that he's doing this ritual that involves the Deathseeker crows.
As a matter of fact, John, just to
Yeah.
give people a preview, I think
Yes.
a portion of the ritual involves like you see Oscar sort of like looking at something on a table, and then he takes like deep breaths, and then he picks up a bird, and like the camera sort of like tilts away, and it's obvious that he's doing some crazy thing where he's swallowing a whole raven at once.
Yeah. And maybe also, I was thinking you might have that albino one that you took
Yes,
out.
I was gonna ask if I could go back and get it for that.
Yeah, I think we see it. It's like spread out and like pinned to a board,
Yeah.
in your workshop. So there's a whole thing you do with rituals. Normally, there's questions that have to be answered and stuff. But because we're all excited to raid the Red Sash headquarters, we're going to cliffhanger the ritual. Oscar's going to use it in this attack and tell us. I'll ask one question, which is what does it do, and then later on, maybe next session, we'll go back and dig into exactly what bargains and stuff Oscar had to do to get this ritual off the ground, and how long it took and how much it cost, and all that can be filled in later. So in the short term, Oscar, what does this ritual accomplish? What's its purpose?
So my goal with this ritual is cinematically it would involve me essentially like falling to my knees and vomiting upwards something in the ghost field that manifests and looks like some sort of raven shape in sort of like the sky, and then it bursts into like ethereal essentially ravens that float around. And so what it does is I'm trying to put a veil on the area such that if we murder 30 dudes, the bell doesn't go off and we don't get Deathseeker crows. So I'm essentially cloaking us from notice to both reduce heat and buy us time, and so that the Red Sashes aren't like having tea and they just hear like dong, and it's like, oh, somebody died in the district. Dong, 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 dong. Which is a dead giveaway that shit's going down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. That's a very useful ritual. I know that there are Blades players watching this that are going like, oh,
How do I give me some of that?
I'm doing
Yes,
that next
this
week.
is why you buy rituals and then 4 games later use the power.
Word.
Finally. Yes, and something has happened in order to get this ritual off the ground, but we don't know what it is yet.
Oh, also, we're
Nope.
seeing a lot of activity from the Spirit Wardens, and one of the things that I want is for our clock not to go berserk, and so I'm trying to build up a tool set to deal with it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
You want it so that we're not fighting 2 wars at the same time.
Exactly.
You guys take care of the murder, I'll take care of the masterminding.
Sounds good.
Nice. Okay, so the next step then is to launch the assault, and we have our detail. The point of entry is the decorative fountain in the Red Sash's headquarters, which can accommodate 10 or so people at once, simultaneously. So two batches of dudes popping out of the thing.
I thought we were gonna not go for all our dudes and
Oh, right. Sorry, you're just doing 5 and then you're letting them in.
right, because we got to let the lampblacks in anyway, and that's why we're doing the whole silence thing, so that we can sneak over, open up a door, let everybody in.
Right. So it's a linked plan. Technically, it's infiltration, which allows an assault. That's what we're doing. So infiltration first. So team infiltrate is Oscar, RC, I presume. Who else?
Cantor,
Cantor
I'm thinking
Cyclops.
And Roth,
and Roth. Yeah. Okay.
because someone's gonna have to die on this trip.
We deck Roth out in his finest red tunic.
He, as always, wears nothing but spotless white.
Exactly.
This one has the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
And you're leaving from Skurlock Manor, not from the tattoo parlor plot, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Let's not bring more heat than we need to. So
Roth arrives not in a carriage. He has a white stallion that he rides.
Of course he does.
It has a white leather saddle.
Yeah.
The stallion has silver tassels braided into its mane. He has spurs and like big, huge riding boots.
Well, Sean, on the plus side, if RC dies in the middle of this fight, you could just play Roth's horse. Because he's obviously a PC, so...
I think all of us are racing to see who can overindulge and then take like a 3-week bender so we can come in as Roth.
Where's the horse playbook? I want to be a horse.
Horseplay? Horseplay is not an option.
The dandy stallion.
We need a dandy playbook, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So he arrives, and then like 5 minutes later, this like really fancy carriage with his attendants shows up, so he can like change out of his riding costume into his battle costume.
Oh Jesus!
He has this like lightweight silver breastplate that he wears, and like a bracer, this like metal vambrace. Because he's gearing up for battle. He's going to pull their top duelists if he can, but he knows that you're just a bunch of ruffians, and he's going to be expected to mingle and skirmish in a melee of some kind.
Yeah, right.
So he needs to have his armor and stuff, and no pistol though. Notably, he does not have a pistol.
Yeah, the douchebag dueling action you took out. I remember you were looking, and you had murder, you had skirmish, you had
That's right.
mayhem, and I remember douchebag dueling was in there for a while.
Douchery, yeah.
Douchery.
Yes, it's now called finesse, which is much nicer. It sounds much nicer.
Yeah.
So yeah, he arrives ready for what's going on. But he doesn't know, right? So basically, if you guys want to tell me if this isn't what happens, what I imagine is maybe RC leads him up the stairs, and the ghost door opens, and you walk him in before he can react, and all of a sudden Satara grabs him and pulls him underwater.
Yeah, I think we're gonna give him about
he's like, what's that strange smell? You like open the door and like.
Yeah, there's no way on earth he would go along with this plan if it was happening.
There's no way you could convince him to do it.
So I think I just gotta say like this is gonna sting a little. Right.
You might want to take a deep breath, I believe is the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your first when you emerge, if we switch over to our Roll20 view, there's an image of the type of place the Red Sashes Academy is. It doesn't show the place where the pool is, because I just don't have art for that, but you can kind of see it's this old sort of mansion that they've repurposed. So it's this northern style with stonework and stuff, and they've hung the red banners in the hall. And I didn't include this, but there's some Eruvian touches here and there. There's like braziers set around on the walls, burning incense, and there's a big red circular carpet in the floor in the middle. But mostly it's this big. It used to be a ballroom, and we use it for dueling practice. So. Yeah, totally flammable. All super flammable, yes.
Excellent.
And now we come to Cantor's specialization.
And there's like the bowl type braziers here that are burning. They don't have electric. Well, they have a few electric lights here.
Uh-huh.
Just keep in mind, I will remind everyone that one of the reasons why we're assaulting here is because this is a turf
Yes.
for us. So
It is. And so
flammable, good. Burning whole place down, bad.
Right.
You're
We want this. It's going to be our cover operation, and it's going to fuck over the Red Sessions.
Yeah.
So you can think of this as what used to be the grand hall entrance to the manor. So there's a big set of doors that lead basically into a small foyer, and then that leads into the carriage turnaround out front, where they have outdoor duels. They have another sort of open wooden platform space outside. The fountain is in the room just beyond. I think you can see on this picture, there's these archways in the back of this room on either side of the staircase behind the banners. Those archways go into a sort of atrium space where the rich people used to have their skylights, where they put in electric light so it looks like day, what used to be daylight, coming from. There's a fountain, and there used to be plants and stuff, but all that's been moved out, and it's like weapon racks or training weapons, padded armor and like wooden swords and stuff all in there. And then the fountain has been converted into a drinking fountain. It has clean, potable water in it, so they walk back in during training and use a ladle and drink, and so that's where you're coming out. This sort of recirculated, fresh, clear water. So who's on silence vial detail? Who's the lead? To throw the thing so you can swarm the room in silence and attack.
Cyclops. He's reliable. He listens to orders. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, I'm also happy to pop out first.
I was going to suggest RC do it.
Yeah.
All right, RC, take it away.
Yeah, I need one hand for my sword. That's all I need. So one hand can easily drop them.
Cool. So this is like a group action. You're assaulting the room.
Yeah.
Right. You just, whoever happens to be in there, you're going to silence and just like take them down as fast as you can. Right.
Yep.
That's the idea.
Right. And further, that the rest of the bloodletters, like Bricks and Nyx and Higgs are outside, and the Lampblacks are outside, and they're all waiting to come storming in. Like, we're just coordinated with them.
Exactly. So it's like this big group prowl, basically, is probably what it's going to be. To ambush these dudes in silence, backstab them, front stab them,
side stab them,
all kinds, and also the Lampblack. I'll roll on their behalf. The gang, you're basically going to cover everybody as the leader, RC. You're commanding this operation. The timing down just right, and everyone needs to. The most important part is this assault, and then surreptitiously opening the door.
Yeah,
it's going to turn into a skirmish for sure, but prowling is like the key component here. Unless I don't get to decide what action you roll, but you know what I mean. I feel like that's what you want to be doing, right?
Well, yes, for the infiltration part of it, to get us to the point where we're all ready to do it. Yeah.
It's like a link, and the link is if this part goes well, it goes to the way you want. The skirmish part, the engagement roll for the skirmish part, is going to be really good. It's going to be overwhelmingly positive for you. If this little prowl mission goes south, then that part is going to be up in the air, and someone's going to be fighting their way to a door or something, right? So let's see how it goes.
Awesome. Do you want to roll an engagement roll for the infiltration? Or
nope. Since it's linked, and you kind of have an overwhelming advantage here with the demon thing.
Yep.
So I don't think you can really. They can't turn the tables on you really. Like, you're just popping out of a pool that they don't even know you can do that. So
right.
I don't think you. There are times when engagement rolls don't make sense, and this is one of those times. That is all gonna go exactly the way you said, because the Red Sashes don't even know that this exists.
Right.
So,
we have a pool of water. We did not understand it as an open doorway.
Well, yeah, when they installed the taps, it was like left tap is cold and right tap is murder, and if they just not installed the murder
right
taps,
been rusted for so long.
That's like you just.
Okay.
Someone switched your ball to evil.
I would like to throw a devil's bargain in there if this works for you. In that RC, knowing that this is her role, is riding very close to Satara in the process here. She grabbed the first time it took her completely by surprise. This time she's like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. This all sucks. But she knows she needs to pop out first and be ready. And so when Satara grabs her and she's really close to her, her taloned fingernails puncture into Arcee a little bit. And I'd like to take another point on that demon blood corruption. I hate it, but it seems reasonable that Arcee would get corrupted by this whole process with her proximity to Satara.
It sounds like a good devil's bargain. What do you think, Job?
That's why you're the best, Sean.
All right, so I'm taking. I only had 1 6, so now I'm taking 2 of corrupted by demon blood.
Is that 4 or?
It's 4.
Yeah,
so I'm halfway there.
All right, cool.
All right, so I got that. I've got a prowl 1. Now I've taken my devil's bargain. anyone who is feeling nice on stress want to throw me a helping die? Otherwise, we'll roll 2d6.
Hang on one second. So here's what's happening. So everyone is going to roll prowl also.
Mm.
But we want one person to have a bigger pool, so being able to throw something out would be good.
Yeah,
Well,
like if you want to help, that it does help. It's not wasted.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to roll. You're going to take stress for the people who fuck it up, Sean.
Yep.
And we're going to take the best result. You guys don't have the crew power that lets you share 6s for criticals, so that doesn't apply. And then I will roll for the lamp blacks as well, because you may have to cover for them too. Like, and then we'll figure out like how RC does this, how you are the commander for this part of the.
Okay, I think we figured out.
Just so I'm clear, since we have some of our cohort here and we are blood brothers, this is a group action. Do we all get an extra die?
They do.
They get an extra die.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so they're not shadows. So normally their quality for sneaking around is 0, but now it's 1 because your blood brothers they get a die just from being well coordinated.
Awesome.
With you, yeah. So hopefully that means RC will take less stress from them. They have a shot at not stressing you out because of the blood brothers instead of having to roll 2 and take the lower one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and my leader ability it only works in combat, so it's specific when you command a gang in combat. So that's not going to be.
We'll be coming up here shortly.
It's
right.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
It's seconds away, and like, yeah. Okay, good. So let's just roll. I think we all have different colors, right? So we can just go for it.
Yeah.
We're rolling prowl, yeah.
Roll prowl, yep.
Okay.
If you don't
I have a die.
Yeah, I don't have it, so I just gotta roll 2 dice and
roll 2 and take the low.
No stress from me.
my lowest is I got 2 6s, so
Nice.
my lowest is a 6.
Cantor Hague.
Right. Awesome. Well, amazing.
So, and sorry, the Lamplocks are part of this too. I got to roll for them.
So far, we're at 6. Now, this came up a little while ago.
Nice. Okay.
This came up a little while ago. Does 2 6s when you're rolling, take lower die count as a crit? Because lower die is still no, it does not.
Okay.
It doesn't count. No. So, but the best roll is Cantor's. Strange.
6.
That's right. Natural talent over here.
The way that I think of it is
Nat
it's
20.
supposed to be sneaky, but you throw the silence potion and Cantor aces.
I really want the idea of like somebody's like got a ladle and he's like he's just
And Cantor's gun like comes. It's on the ladle. It's like
yeah, totally.
exactly.
Hello.
And like
boom.
There's just smoke coming out of the hole.
and like all we hear is like the click of the trigger, and that's right when the silence drops. So we hear like the little click, but then when the boom goes, it's totally silent.
It's a little lightning effect from the electroplasmic shot.
Awesome.
Nice. So RC, you only take 1 stress from all of that business. Everyone else did well. So
Yeah. Awesome.
you basically just have to cover for the gang. Like
The gang who is and I think that comes in the form like RC wanted to get better positions. She like had her sword out and was ready to like command, and she just like stumbled like throw it really fast because she hears them making noise outside, and so she had to like throw it down a little faster than she expected because she's like, fuck, someone's arguing outside. Fucking, you don't get to argue about this shit when you're sneaking up on somebody. So
yeah, someone is saying something like, but I don't hear anything. Like, shut up! You're not supposed to hear anything.
exactly.
You only hear something if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So Adam, you blast a dude who's getting water. Oscar, what do you do when
I'm
But there's,
rolling
like-
ritual.
right, you're activating the ritual, right? Yeah. So there's like 5 or 6 people in the room, totally taken by surprise. They don't hear anything. One of them gets spattered by Cantor's attack.
Yeah.
That makes them turn, and Roth does this like beautiful lunge and puts his sword through the first guy's throat, and as that guy falls down, he turns and salutes the next one. And the guy's just like frozen in place, and Roth gives him a long beat and then like whips the sword down with the blood and then takes him through the heart. And by that point, RC, like the other three are rushing over behind Roth to like jump on him.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. So RC had, was not nearly as graceful as Roth, but she was one of them was running over. She grabs the guy by the back of the coat and just as like she throws him on the ground, and then she finally pulls out her sword and just like stabs him like on the ground before he can get up again. It is the like opposite of Roth's gracefulness, but it is effective because he's on the ground and helpless when he's getting stabbed a couple times too. It's like stab.
Yeah, you're like giving it to him. Yeah. So it's this was basically a roll to see if there was a fight here or if not, and you got no consequences. Double 6 Koval.
Nice.
So, and also you're like on equal footing, right? There's like 5 of them. There's 5 of you. Bang, you come in. Take them out. It's totally silent. You go and you open up. So the back doors are this big, heavy set wooden doors, iron bands with big ring, things, and they lead into what used to be the stables. They don't really use them as stables anymore, but they don't. So it's disused. It'd be this creaky, loud bullshit. You can tell like you have to move this heavy bar and dust comes down out of the ceiling. It's just completely silent,
Yeah.
And then you lean in on the thing, and Brix is there, and she has this like sort of heavy cleaver kind of blade, and she's like ready, and she sees you and she claps you on the shoulder and she's like, and then kind of has this weird look on her face and like looks back at the group, and they're all like.
I love too that like every time anyone looks at Cantor, he's just like screaming at the top of his lungs because it's so funny that he's like like no one can hear him. He's like fist pumping and like shrieking.
Oh man, somebody's singing their favorite song that they know
I think Oscar though is almost exactly like he always is. So no difference.
Yeah.
Breaking away.
So you make some room, and then Cyclops and Brick shoulder in and like force the doors all the way open. You see the Lampblacks in ranks behind them, in their coveralls and caps,
stovepipe hats,
pry bars, and the guy has a blunderbuss, and their chains with hooks on the ends of them and stuff. And they're ready. They're just like super serious.
Well, and this is time for Cantor to presumably load, because you have all the bullets and kind of
yeah. So
right,
you have time because of the silence still, with the good 6 on your infiltration and fine silence stuff. So you've got like a minute or 2 here.
It's like a fine velvety silence. It's not one of those regular ass silences.
There's a pleasant. It's a pleasant silence. It's not a void.
It's not a scratchy silence.
It doesn't freak you out.
Not a devouring silence.
No.
It sort of feels like it might be a devouring silence.
It would be if Adam hadn't rolled a 6. It's like a fine silence.
All right.
The lowest I could roll, man.
That's right. I can't try, but
I'm trying to roll a 7.
That's right.
So yeah, the bag gets passed around, and everyone takes their ammo out and loads up. And as the spell fades, like it doesn't just turn off; it like slowly fades. So you first hear the sort of distant sounds outside, street noises and stuff. And so you realize, and everyone like takes their positions at those archways in the back of the main chamber.
Yeah.
And gets ready. They all load up, and just as the spell fades, you hear the last like click of the guy clicking.
Nice.
The breech on his shotgun closed, and then they all look at RC. I assume.
Yeah. No. So tell me if it is intuitive where things are in this place, or if not, if we have another coin, I'm going to trigger a flashback to figure out where stuff was, because I think it occurs to me now that our characters would want to know, like, in this space, where to go to be doing the maximum murder. So if that's obvious, cool. If not,
You can take stress for flashbacks. We don't need a coin because that's only for downtime action.
Right.
It would be stress. And so let me tell you about the engagement rule, and that this will factor into it completely. So you are attacking them from within their own base as a surprise attack, which, in terms of engagement, that's really good.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of a better scenario, really. You have a bigger force because you pumped up your gang for war, and the Lampblacks are actually showed up with their guys, which originally they were kind of hold off, see how you did it, but they actually showed up. So you're it's not double, but it's in the ballpark of 1.5 or something. You have a bigger force. Surprise attack with a bigger force. But the big disadvantage you have, it's significant, is this is their home base. Like, they know it inside and out. They know every room, every corridor. They don't have traps and stuff like that. It's not that type of place, but it's an obvious advantage. If you know anything about warfare, right, you know that going into a building is that someone lives in and they know is just a nightmare. Like, they can come out of nowhere. They can attack you from places you don't expect and all that. And you have to take your time, right? Clearing a hallway could take an hour, right? If you're being, but you guys don't want to do that. You want to just rush.
Sure. Right.
Kind of improvisationally through the building and hope for the best.
So I want to cut back to the time when we were talking about, I want to cut back to when we were all talking about, like, where what are we going to take? We can take the consulate, and we're like, nah, fuck the consulate. That's weak sauce. We want to take the school. And then instead of that, just that conversation continuing, like, before we ever got to the, how are we going to get in? Will we break down the front door? Like, before that, this bit of camera, we then cut to, like, the three of us, like, on top of a roof across the building, and we've got Cricket there. If it's okay with you, Oscar, and we're like, okay, you're just gonna, like, write every person you see coming in, every person you see coming out. And you're going to, like, tell us what rooms they go into, and you're just gonna, like, give us 2 days worth of every motion you see in and out of this place. We want to know where Malera is. We want to know where their barracks are. All that sort of shit. And then cut back. That's what I want to do. That's a flashback I'm triggered.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. So that sounds like a command action to me. It sounds like you're, like, organizing a underling to accomplish a mission, which command covers.
Awesome. Cool. It's better than my survey. So, I mean,
yeah, you don't have to do it yourself, right? It's a question. You pick the right person to do it, so it's more a question of telling them the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So I think this, stress-wise, is for a flashback. I guess it kind of depends on how fast the turnaround was. I'm feeling like it's 2. If you want a really good understanding, like,
okay, two's getting me close, but we'll take it.
All right. Well, sorry, but there you go.
No, it's good. It's good.
I thought you cleared your stress. Didn't you clear your stress?
No, I'm down. I was down to 4, so now I'm up to 7.
All right, fun.
Yeah.
So
Cut it close, RC.
So roll your command. It's a normal action. It's controlled.
Awesome. All right.
Nice.
5. Okay. So you get the information you need with a consequence, which will be Craig comes back with, like, a map. And she has a thing you asked for, and she's like, I kind of think spatially. That's kind of how I process. And that's, why I'm attracted to Oscar. And just the way his mind works, it's just so...
I don't want to know what your sex life, Cricket. Just tell me where things are.
So she has this really good map that she hasn't been inside the building, but she's like figured out the layout by watching people and like intuiting where things must be.
Right.
It's really good. And she's like, the spirit wardens were around, and I thought that was really weird, but you didn't really say anything about them, so I just figured it was fine. And like you get the sense that like they saw her and she didn't really hide or anything.
Right. So she was hiding from the sashes because she knew that we're at war with them. She wasn't hiding from them. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the consequence I'm going to take here is I'm going to advance their clock. And
Advance the spirit warden clock. I'll take it.
later on, during the inevitable investigation, somebody will
Right.
say,
I would throw out that there could be another interesting complication, which is that she's the only one who can read the map. Like we all look at it and go, we don't at all. She has to like lead us around, but I like this.
that is good actually, but yeah.
You're like, Cricket, this is not a map. It's a watercolor painting of a dog. What the fuck?
I friends with the dogs too. What do you expect?
Yeah, listen, just envision it as a dog, so...
It just says what things smell like.
Awesome. Cool. So we have
go ahead and take a left when you feel.
Oh, so it's a Tony Dowler map then. It's just
kind of
got
a left
random
word.
words thrown all over it.
fish.
Take a lift at grief until you get to pizza.
Yeah. So in exchange for your stress and spirit warden attention, you actually have, like earlier, you kind of like showed everyone the map and was like, "Here's the deal. We're gonna
Right.
assault it in a coordinated way, right?"
We're gonna go bust into their like sleeping chambers and murder these dudes unarmed and unarmored as they're scrambling out of their beds.
So just to be clear, they are at war.
Right. Oh, that's good. Good. Yeah.
They're not just like hanging out ready to be killed. Like they're on guard. They have dudes posted, and everything. So
Right,
it's yeah. But you know where to go. It's not. They don't have a complete home turf advantage. So the way I'm thinking of it was like 5 dice engagement roll for the plan and the detail, 3 dice because it's their home turf, but still a really good roll. 4 dice because you have a map and everything's perfectly coordinated. Even on their home turf, you got more dudes, you got a map, you're a surprise attack. Like, yeah, that feels strong. So,
Yep. I'm liking it.
who wants? Well, we know who's going to make the engagement roll.
Yeah.
Make Adam do.
So much pressure. Okay. All right. So, engagement roll. What do we got here? What are we looking at?
4
you're
dice.
rolling 4 dice.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, and that's it. Hey, only
Yeah.
4. I could probably get. I'm sure I can get A6 out of 4.
Only 4.
Yeah, I can. I got two sixes, in fact.
You crit. Oh, can you crit on engagement?
You can crit on an engagement
If
roll.
it can be critted, then I will do it.
I should have known. I didn't even have the page open because I was like, he's not going to crit. I don't need to know what happens on a crit. You seize a particular advantage, but
Adam rolls 6s on 0 dice. We just gave him 4.
oh my god! All right, engagement crit. Here we go. The PC sees a definite advantage. For example, they've already slipped past the first obstacle with minimal effort. You've already done that.
Yeah.
So I think what happens is the training session that's happening in the front room. We're not even going to roll skirmish for that. You give the signal. They chart like Team A just takes out the first room as you guys go up the stairs.
Nice.
That just happens. So I'm going to fill in. So here are the clocks that I have here. So
Oh yeah, I gotta
There are-
the map so people can see these. Yeah, get them up there.
there's one on the left, which is 8 pieces, and this is the well-being of the red sashes here in their base.
Okay. I want
And
to
then
see
on the
that.
right,
I eat that whole pie. Just
on the right we have a 6 and a 4, which is a 10 clock essentially, which is the well-being of the assault force. You guys have an advantage here. You have a
I see. Okay.
So you're gonna tick down there. You're gonna tick down there.
Nice.
Tick down their clock, and they are going to tick down yours, and that will determine how much of your forces survive the operation.
Yeah.
And then your actions to take out the building. Like it's up to you, you know, if you stop when there's still red sashes remaining, or if you just want to take them all out to a man.
Probably.
And vice versa. Like, will you withdraw before you lose all your dudes or whatever? So,
right.
But I think, Sean, you're a leader in combat, so your guys have armor.
Yes.
And
potency.
Which means the whole gang has armor, and they will not break unless before they're killed.
Yep.
So it's totally up to you when they leave.
Right. They're tough. They have potency. When we're figuring out effect, I think we got a lot of things. We have scale, we have potency, and I feel like we're matched on quality. But
you are matched on quality because of the exquisite dualists that brought you up on. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I think we have two in terms of effect. I think we have 2 bumps on them in general.
Yeah, you do. Yep. And you just filled in 1.
Nice.
So things are looking really good, as you might expect, given the setup for the assault.
I'll take it.
Okay, so now it's a skirmish, right? Presumably.
Yeah.
The silence is gone. The first assault happens. The dude with the blunderbuss runs out and is like, boom! Shoots the guy who flops down on his back and then rolls around and like picks up his training sword weakly as Brix like stabs him in the face.
With the cleaver.
Yeah. Roth kind of glances across the room to see what's happening, and there's the teacher is there. It's not Mylera, but it's like
sure.
Obviously, you know. If Oscar has anime movies on the side, Roth has his like almost kung fu theater thing happening, where like there's like a zoom on the master, and his like silk Eruvian gown, which has.
You can totally see him like doing that thing where he like puts the sword across one eye and it just says like, "Your opponent is me."
Exactly. They lock eyes, and this guy's like some old minister. He just has a wooden sword. And he just like fighting stance, you know.
Can that be the part where I shoot him in the face? Just like look at Roth, like no fucking around. Come on.
We're killing dudes.
Yeah, so we'll see how you roll, Adam. We're gonna do a group action again.
Okay.
Skirmish the hell out of this place.
Yep. Absolutely.
And you guys are gonna keep the best.
So the question is, am I skirmishing? Because I'm mostly maintaining the ritual and following behind them, making sure that we don't get any sort of like mystical oversight. Like I don't want to.
Right here and now, you don't have to.
Okay. But if I get stuck in the middle of a room or something, we roll the dice because somebody needs to protect me, and if that means they take stress.
Right now, it's like 40 dudes against 12 or something, so you can just sort of hang back. When the team goes upstairs, if you want to be with them, there are going to be guys coming at you.
Understood.
So if you don't skirmish, then you'll have to take your chances with resistance rolls or whatever you want to do instead. Cool. You tell me how you participate. It's up to you.
No. For now, I'm hanging back and keeping my eyes peeled for other threats.
That's totally fine. You're not going to mess up the numbers or anything, so that's okay. You guys still have the attack, the initiative. So
yeah, awesome. So yeah, my plan. I mean, I'm RC draws out her saber and is definitely down to cut dudes up. I kind of like the idea of chopping through one of these little wooden fucking swords and right into someone's spleen. But I think I'm primarily acting because people can hear me now as commanding our dudes and basically taking them down quickly so that we can move upstairs before they're too prepared. So.
Exactly.
That's my role primarily is leading them.
Right. That's the main thing. You want to keep the initiative. I feel like that's kind of what you're risking here more than anything else. Because in numbers wise, this isn't going to really sway the battle very much.
Right. But if they slow us down too much, like if fucking Roth has his duel, right? Then
if they can hold 2 staircases instead of fighting a melee upstairs, then that's good, right? So
right. Then they have the upper ground and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is less filling in the killing clock and more like keeping the initiative and moving along.
Cool.
So everyone who wants to rolls their skirmish.
Okay.
I will roll. So the thugs are now normally, are they 2 quality now?
No, they're 1+1 die from being Blood
From
Brothers.
Blood
So,
Brothers.
yeah.
So there's-
+1 die from being not +1 die. Sorry, plus having potency.
right, yeah, plus potency. So about 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 is the highest so far.
All right.
No stress for you, RC.
Real super quick flashback because it didn't come up as it didn't come up that I had any sort of protection against Zatara. So instead we like flash back really quickly, like because RC goes like to punch a dude and then stab him. We flash back really quickly to RC and Marlene boxing, and RC just breaking the hell out of some guy as he's against ropes. RC has the move brutal, so I'm taking potency against physical targets because I was holding off. I didn't know if we were going to do something with her.
Nice. The in the moment ability purchase.
Yes.
Sweet. So what? Tell people what brutal does.
Brutal. Your attacks are more powerful. You hit as if wielding a heavier weapon. You gain potency versus physical targets.
Yeah, and so in the book I expand that to say, like, if you use your bare fist, it's like you're hitting with like a hammer, and if you use a knife, it's like you're hitting with a sword. If you use a sword, it's like you're using a sledgehammer. If you use a sledgehammer, it's like a wrecking ball.
So in this case, she's using a fine sword or saber, and whereas the average person like cuts into someone and they bleed, she's hacking off limbs. Because remember in the last
this whole thing is so Kill Bill right now. Like
it totally is.
Yeah.
I had the fight without honor, whatever the fight in my head.
Right. Because last time she fought them, she was like punching and knocking around because they attacked us. She didn't have her sword, she was ready. But now we see that with her blade, she's literally chopping off pieces of dudes.
I mean, RC is, despite John forgetting that she's married all the time, she is the bride. So
she is indeed. She is indeed.
All right.
Yeah, and I think we see it. Like, there's the flashback to you, like, just punching a guy and like dislocating his shoulder, breaking his collarbone or whatever, and he's like, like falls down, and Marlene's like, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Cut back to this moment where the guy does a perfect parry and his sword snaps into, and you cut down into his body, and as he like tries to twist away, what do you do?
I think she just kind of like leans her shoulder into it, rams him up against the wall, and he grabs it by the back of the jaw and slams his head into the wall, pushing him off the blade. And like you see like a blood splatter on the. Yeah, and
this room is like old manor house stone stuff. So, and the stone like cracks under his skull. There's this crack appears in the marble, and his eyes go totally dead, and he slides bloodily off the marble. Cyclops sees this across the room. He's like wrestling with this dude. He's got a sash wrapped around his neck. Cyclops' neck, like wrestling a guy, and he sees this happen, and he's just like, holy shit. And then they go down in a tumble, and a bunch of guys start stabbing, and so everyone who's skirmishing, go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Cool.
Boom.
Sorry, I forgot to say this is controlled. You have a big advantage here.
Okay.
It's
so
what I think describe myself being awesome.
What I think Cantor is doing is, I'm not even like fighting, because there's all this like sword fighting kung fu shit going on. I'm just walking up to people who are sword fighting and shooting them in the head, right? And just being like, why? What? No, he's dead. Go fight that guy, right? Like, I'm just being like super taking advantage of people being tangled up in sword fights to just like end those fights and keep things moving forward, keep the momentum.
Yeah, so it's reversed right now. Like, using guns in this world, they're like breech loading single shot guns. You fire and like pop the breech and the shell falls out.
Yeah.
You load it up again. Using guns in a sword fight is desperate, usually, right?
Yeah.
But using guns in someone
else's sword fight, exactly. Yeah.
It's totally controlled.
I shoot someone, I pick another fight while they're fighting, I'm reloading, and I'm like,
reload.
Okay,
you walk
fight's
over. Oh, cool moves. Bang.
Yep.
It's just Indiana Jones over and over again.
Yep.
So this was a group action that I was leading, or this is individual action?
It's a group action. I don't think anybody stressed you out. Hank, let me roll for the line.
I would have stressed myself out because I rolled like ass.
Yes,
I don't have to worry about it because Cantor, you don't stress yourself out. It's only if other people do it, I think.
Yeah.
And the Lamplex, you're fine with them too.
Yeah.
It's everybody. It's not you. It's everybody else who fails.
Yeah, right. So I can suck at this role, which is great because I did.
You're the commander, right? Like you. This is your plan. You're leading everybody, and your initial charge into the room and taking this dude out.
Right. I think I made one example of one dude, and then that was it. Everyone else just cleaned.
Right, and you totally failed your role, so you would have been swarmed by 11 guys. But it was a good plan, and everybody follows. And so, Cantor, you do shoot the guy, the master. But we first see you, we see like Cyclops is all being strangled, and you walk over and like blow, and then Brix is about to sword fight a guy, and you're like bah. And you reload, and you see Roth and this guy, face off, and you draw your gun and point at him, and he like flips effortlessly behind a column, and you're like tracking him, waiting for him to come out, and he like baits you, and you shoot, and he goes back behind, and you're like, Jesus.
Goddamn karate bullshit.
So do you like hang on, and because you did the best here, like, do you hang on and reload and like track this dude down and finish him, or do you just let Roth have his fun?
Yeah, I'd probably like track him a bit. I fire, we get the spray of like chalk dust or whatever from the granite pillar, and I look at Roth and I'm like, I can go do your thing, man.
Right.
And I'm like,
go
get him, Tiger.
If you like shoot on one side of it, I could totally see the dude popping out on the other side, and Roth's just waiting there with the sword.
Yeah, and the guy like now he has his sash like out. It's like trailing on the floor, and he's ready, and Roth is like looking daggers at you. He's just like, he'll never invite you to tea,
The cutting remark.
Yeah.
And they go off and have their duel, and imagine a cool duel, everybody.
No, let's spend the rest of the session talking about Roth dueling. Beat of sweat.
Yeah.
So the important thing is you guys
turns into a yaoi anime.
You don't take losses here, and you maintain the momentum. So the ground floor is taken out upstairs. Like you hear RC as you're doing this, and this nice coordinated thing. You hear like boots, just like people running around, and they're clearly they understand. So they're rushing to hold the stairs.
Yep,
but they don't.
Right. So like as soon as like I think RC is even trying to like preempt it, where like there's a couple guys and they're like, yeah, let's go beat them up. I'm like, no, you up. And like the fight is still finishing at the bottom when dudes are running up the stairs so that we can get to the top. So like a couple of my guys that are like, they're all bloodthirsty and they want to like just get in there and maul them. I'm like, no, we're moving up to the top. So we're there.
Yeah. In fact, Bajo, he gets to the top first.
Yeah.
He has like a Skovlander, like a great sword. He doesn't have his top hat on or anything. He's
appropriate for.
He's wearing like a just a short sleeved greasy shirt with his coveralls like pulled down and tied, and he got this big old like soldier weapon, like a battlefield kind of weapon that a soldier would use. And he gets to the top of the stairs and is like, whoa, like whipping it around as the first red sashes come out of the hallway, and they step back, and he kicks the door closed and jams the greatsword into the hand
frame
door, so they can't advance. And then kind of looks back and sees when everybody comes up behind him, and he's like, yeah, and he pulls the sword out and goes in.
Nice.
So now it's the full fight. Everyone in the melee, like you're gonna disperse through the halls according to the map that you planned earlier, and just like systematically take the place out. Right? You're not doing the methodical thing. Oscar can't keep the bells silent forever, and
Yep. Right.
So it's just
gotta go fast.
It's also one of those things where if like some dude says, I'm getting the fuck out of here and he's running, we're not chasing him down. Like they can certainly get away from us unless, of course, there's no path. Like if they have a path out, if they have bolt holes and whatnot, we're not chasing them down because we're trying to hold the territory. So we're killing everybody that's putting up a fight, but
Exactly.
we're not trying to murder everyone to a man.
You're throwing the ball in their court, basically. You're like, we're here to kill everybody in this building. So if at this point they just leave, they have that option, which they are currently not taking. They've only taken one pie piece off, so they're going to fight.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. So yeah, it's the same again. Like it's a group skirmish. Everyone's involved.
Cool.
Now, so Oscar, here's the thing: if you stay downstairs, you're not in the skirmish.
Nope.
And you can get away with that. I will make a random fortune roll to see if a straggler happens by when you're alone, and if they find you.
No, I'm moving up with the team. If I have to roll and somebody takes stress, it'll happen. But my goal is basically to keep them protected in case the Red Sashes have like some whisper tricks up their sleeves, because these guys will take care of all the broadswords of the fighting. I'm mostly dodging blows and just keeping cover.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
This is like very classic D&D where like the wizard has like one giant shot, but you got to wait to use it at the right time. So that's what I'm waiting for.
So if you're not contributing, if you want to, you can roll a different action. You can prowl around, and keep out of the combat, or you can do whatever. Like, you tell me what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to roll skirmish because you're just one guy. Like, you're not threatened currently. That may happen, but you're out of the fight right now. So.
Can I do a setup?
Yeah, totally.
Because I think that I can probably use some Tempest or something, or maybe even Attune to watch for like sigils and traps. And essentially, this is one of those cases where like they trigger a trap, they see the flash of light, everybody takes in a breath, and then nothing happens, and I'm just standing there, and I give them the nod, they charge into the room or whatever. That's what I'm trying to do, is to basically give them some cover so I can do a setup for them. And I'm okay with rolling skirmish if necessary to like be in danger, but
the infiltration was perfect. The initial assault was perfect. You're fine to attune or whatever. You can totally do that.
Tell me how we should do this.
So you're gonna roll attune, and you're trying to. Do you want to use Tempest to like fuck with the Red Sashes, like throw a storm into their barracks, or do you want to be like a failsafe or?
I think I want to save the stress for when things go south, because one, I don't know how much this ritual is going to cost, and two, this is the most important part, I want to scrub the place clean afterwards so we don't get more clocks off of the bronze masks, the spirit wardens.
Yeah. So you're going to attune to like be their backup, basically.
Yes. I'm essentially clearing rooms ahead, like 3 people, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Like, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
and then
sweet.
they charge in and murder stuff.
Cool. Nice.
So yeah, roll your attune. It is desperate. I have to tell you that.
I'm okay with this.
This place is not arcane neutral. It's heavily on someone else's side.
I am fine with this. Does anybody do you want to either A, offer a devil's bargain, or B, does somebody else want to assist?
I'm leery on assist right now because I'm dancing on the razor's edge with stress.
Cantor?
Yeah, if we can conceive of a way for me to do that, because I'm
assist with arcane powers. Sure.
Like I'm clear for stress, but I'm not sure how I could help.
The way that you can help is by shooting people that are about to jump me, kind of stuff.
Yes, and
electroplasmic shot.
You could shoot creepy-looking idol things that you see around the place.
I feel like I'm probably like protecting you. I'm like shooting at people as they come around corners or like they charge you, and I'm like shouting at you. I'm like, "What are you even doing? Do something!"
I point at idol things and I go, "Break those."
Because Oscar's just standing there, like
yeah, exactly. I'm just shouting at you, like, "We're having a fight now, idiot! Kill somebody! Come on!"
You gotta have a sword in there.
Yeah, and I'm still doing what you say, but I'm like, I don't understand why.
Nice.
This is how we do teamwork.
Yeah, totally.
All right, Adam. That's one stress, Adam.
Okay.
And you get a bonus dice, Josh. If you want a devil's bargain, I have one.
I will listen to it.
I will entertain.
So,
you may speak, game master.
This place is consecrated to a foreign god. You may sidestep that power in your initial attempt, and only tangle with it on a bad roll here. Or you can take a bonus die by targeting its source, its foothold here in this place that's been anointed to it. But that entity will take an interest in you.
Check. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a great plan. What's the name of this entity?
Yeah, let me flip open my PDF and I will tell you.